So anyway, welcome. I hope everybody's well. More than ever, we need to support ourselves and go deeper and deeper into our spiritual practice. People that don't do that during this time will find themselves every day more swept up in the confusion and problems of samsara. But for those who choose the spiritual path, they'll find that the worse that samsara gets, the stronger their spiritual practice becomes. Naturally, when things are great, we think that that this can be a paradise here, but it gives us a false sense of where we are and what's happening. So that Ozonzar Chensi Rinpoche uses the example of 3 strawberries. If you try to balance 3 strawberries, one on top of the other, usually, if you're really careful and take your time, you can balance 2. And samsara is like that. Every once in a while, things line up, things work out, we get the job we want, we get a raise, we find a nice boyfriend or girlfriend, we are able to excel in some area, maybe we get the house of our dreams. That's like having a second strawberry balance on top of the first strawberry. Then that gives us some false expectations that there is a solution to this place on the relative level. So then we think we can balance the 3rd strawberry, and we can't balance the 3rd strawberry, and it knocks over the 2nd strawberry as well. So samsara is like that. Every once in a while we get a little glimpse of hope, like, oh, we can fix this place, we can elect the right political party, they'll solve all of our problems, the price of gasoline's low, but it's just enough to kind of hook us and keep us involved in samsara. When things are difficult and not going well, even the 2nd strawberry doesn't balance. And we give up hope on samsara. Not hope in helping other beings, but that this is a place that's going to be fixable. And we dedicate ourselves completely to the spiritual path. So we're continuing to read from Rinpoche's book with Lama Shenpa, Change of Heart. And we're in the 3rd chapter on equanimity. We may think that we are very intelligent, more intelligent than our parents. Yet there was a time when they had to teach us everything, how to walk, talk, and even eat. Had they not insisted that we go to school, many of us would not have received any education at all. Finally, this body that is a gift from our parents is the perfect vehicle for spiritual practice. Animals cannot follow a spiritual path. However strong and magnificent an elephant cannot do spiritual practice. However proud and dominant a lion cannot meditate. However splendid a peacock cannot engage in peace training. So at times our parents may have been irritable or abusive, but we didn't know or understand what they were going through. We couldn't see the depth of their love or the causes of their conduct. We will never really understand our parents until we ourselves become parents, and by then it may be too late. Acknowledging the unparalleled kindness of our parents, of every being throughout eons of lifetimes, we aspire to repay that kindness in every possible way. If our mother suddenly developed a mental disorder and no longer recognized us and became very hostile, we wouldn't abandon her no matter how outrageous or difficult her behavior became. We might think she was confused, even a little crazy, but our love would sustain the relationship. If a baby were to bite us, we would still love him. We would also love our two children equally, even though one might be compassionate, sweet, and well-mannered, and the other grumpy, ill-behaved, and killing insects. If we understand the kindness once shown to us by all beings, no matter how their confusion and delusion manifest at present, we would never abandon them. If an aggressive stranger approaches us in the supermarket, instead of trying to avoid him, we will feel compassion. When someone makes us angry, instead of thinking we have the right to be rude, we will remember that she is a former parent of ours with no way of remembering who we are. If they steal from us or trick us, someone may think that he's being clever, but we will know that he doesn't realize he is committing a crime against someone as dear to him as his own parent. I can't remember if I read to this group or not, but of course it's never wrong to repeat the words of the Buddha. But during one of the Buddha's teachings, he talks about, well, during many of the Buddha's teachings, he talks about the kindness of our parents, but specifically in one where he's talking about how difficult it is to repay the kindness of our parents. He said, even if we take our parents into our house in their old age, even if we clothe them and feed them and clean their feet and change their diapers when they can no longer hold back their bodily fluids, even then, we can't repay the kindness of our parents. He said it's very, very rare that any of us will ever repay the kindness of our parents from this life. But he said in those rare situations where we do repay the kindness of our parents, it's when we can somehow bring their minds to Dharma. I don't think we need to think of Dharma in the narrow sense of just Buddhism, but let's think of it in the broader sense of spiritual qualities. So as Buddhist practitioners, any way that we can bring our elderly parents, or younger parents, but our parents in general, to the spiritual path, to spiritual qualities of charity, kindness, generosity, patience, ethic and morality, and ultimately wisdom, in that moment, in that capacity, we might have a chance of repaying their kindness. So it's very hard, I understand, to impart wisdom to our parents as their children. They always see us as they're teaching us and we don't teach them. So you have to be very skillful in the way that you do it. But if there's ever an opening, that's a wonderful opportunity to try to repay their kindness, is to introduce and support any spiritual tendencies that they might have. So let's please go to our Tara practice, starting with the 7-line prayer.